Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1136. It is California time 5:10 a.m. and I am anticipating a Super Bowl game this afternoon between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. So good morning, John Clark. Okay, go both teams. John Clark is rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs and I am rooting for the 49ers. So both teams have some rooting crowds here. And from, Doc V's group, AC Rusita and Susan Campbell and, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, let me bring up the names of the people that are 49er fans as well as I am. Waving the colors, gold as well. Oh, where's my hat? Oh, did it fall? I think the cat's got my hat. That was gold. That was that beige gold color for the team. Anyway, so today we're reading a little bit of the three plays by Thornton Wilder, Our Town. Last time we were at a place where people were going back into the house, and stage manager says, "Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Webb. Now I have to interrupt again here. You see, we want to know how all this began, this wedding, this plan to spend a lifetime together. I'm awfully interested in how big things like that begin. You know how it is. You're 21 or 22, and you make some decision, then wish you're 70. You've been a lawyer for 50 years, and that white-haired lady at your side has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. How do such things begin? George and Emily are going to show you now that the conversation they had when they first knew that as the saying goes, they were meant for one another. But before they do it, I want you to try and remember what it was like to have been very young, and particularly the days when you were first in love, when you were like a person sleepwalking, and you didn't quite see the street you were in, and didn't quite hear everything that was said to you. You're just a little bit crazy. Will you remember that, please? Now, they'll be coming out of high school at 3 o'clock. George has just been elected president of the junior class, and as it's June, that means he'll be president of the senior class all next year. And Emily's just been elected secretary and treasurer. I don't have to tell you how important that is. He places a board across the backs of two chairs, which he takes from those at the Gibbs family table. He brings two high stools from the wings and places them behind the board. Persons sitting on the stools will be facing the audience. This is the counter of Mr. Morgan's drugstore. The sounds of young people's voices are heard off left. Yep, they're coming down Main Street now. Emily, carrying an armful of imaginary school books, comes along Main Street from the left. Emily, I can't, Louise. I've got to go home. Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine, can you come over tonight and do Latin? Isn't that Cicero the worst thing? Tell your mother you have to. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Fred. George, also carrying books, catches up with her. George, can I carry your books home for you, Emily? Emily, coolly, why, thank you. It isn't far. She gives them to him. George, excuse me a minute, Emily. Say, Bob, if I'm a little late, start practice anyway, and give Herb some long high ones. Emily, goodbye, Lizzie. George, goodbye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you were elected, too, Emily. Emily, thank you. They have been standing on Main Street, almost against the back wall. They take the first steps toward the audience when George stops and says, George, Emily, why are you mad at me? Emily, I'm not mad at you. George, you've been treating me so funny lately. Emily, well, since you asked me, I might as well say it right out, George. She catches sight of a teacher passing. Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. George, goodbye, Miss Corcoran. What is it? Emily, not scoldingly, finding it difficult to say. I don't like the whole change that's come over you in the last year. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I've got to tell the truth and shame the devil. George, a change? Well, what do you mean? Emily, well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. And I used to watch as you did everything because we'd been friends so long, and then you began spending all your time at baseball, and you never stopped to speak to anybody anymore, not even to your own family you didn't. And George, it's a fact, you've got awful conceited and stuck up, and all the girls say so. They may not say so to your face, but that's what they say about you behind your back. And it hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them a little. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it. George, I'm glad you said it, Emily. I never thought that such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fellow not to have faults creep into his character. They take a step or two in silence, then stand still in misery. Emily, I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be. George, oh, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily. Emily, well, my father is, and as far as I can see, your father is. There's no reason on earth why you shouldn't be, too. George, well, I feel it's the other way around. The men aren't naturally good, but girls are. Emily, well, you might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be perfect as a man because we girls are more nervous. Now, I'm sorry I said all that about you. I don't know what made me say it. George, Emily, Emily, now I can see it's not the truth at all, and I suddenly feel that it isn't important anyway. George, Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home? Emily, well, thank you. I would. They advance toward the audience and make an abrupt right turn, opening the door of Morgan's drugstore. Under strong emotion, Emily keeps her face down. George speaks to some passers-by. George, hello, Stu. How are you? Good afternoon, Mrs. Slocum. The stage manager, wearing spectacles and assuming the role of Mr. Morgan, enters abruptly from the right and stands between the audience and the corner of his soda fountain. Stage manager, hello, George. Hello, Emily. What do you have? Why, Emily Webb, what have you been crying about? George, he gropes for an explanation. She just got an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. She almost got run over by that hardware store wagon. Everybody says that Tom Huckins drives like a crazy man. Stage manager, drawing a drink of water. Well, now, you take a drink of water, Emily. You look all shook up. I tell you, you've got to look both ways before you cross Main Street these days. Gets worse every year. What do you have? What do you have? You hear the humming. It's little Dea. Emily, I'll have a strawberry phosphate, thank you, Mr. Morgan. George, no, no, Emily, have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan. Stage manager, working the faucet. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. These there are 125 horses in Grover's Corners this minute I'm talking to you. State inspector was here yesterday, and now they're bringing in these automobiles. The best thing to do is just stay home. Okay. Um, just stay home. Okay. I have to go and look for a water bottle to spray on some kind of perpetrator having a hard time with Dea. So I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, Kinderhook.